my friend, Dr. Martin here. It's a time of uncertainty, a time of change, not the best of times, maybe close to the worst of times. But also, it's a time to develop new, healthier habits. The reality is that in times of change, your unhealthy habits can fall by the wayside as you develop new, healthier ones. Why is this so? Because many of the things, places, and people that cued some of your unhealthy habits may no longer be working and no longer operative in this new era of stay at home, social distancing environment. We all know repetition is essential for the development of new habits. But successful learning also depends on the presence of stable prompts. In these difficult times, many prompts for unhealthy behaviors may not be present in our new stay at home, stay away from people environment. So now you can capitalize on these altered bad habit triggers through positive life changes. You can develop new, stable, positive habit triggers that lead to a healthier lifestyle. Now, in the last video, I talked about the three components of a habit: context, repetition, and reward. Let's dive a little deeper into this. So let's now first take a look at how habits work. It's actually just the ABC of behavior analysis repeated that is looped. In this case, the trigger or prompt or cue. Say, for example, you're driving down the road to McDonald's. That's the antecedent. Then there's the behavior. You stop and have a Big Mac. Then there's a consequence. The action that follows behavior, and then in this case, a positive consequence, leads to the behavior most likely being repeated. That is the reward. In this case, it tastes good. The odds are this behavior will be repeated, so we start to develop a habit, a not so healthy habit. But the antecedent, the cue, the behavior, after a while, becomes a cue, a routine. And the positive consequence are the rewards, so now we have it. What we have is a simple habit loop has been developed. I call this the cue, routine, reward. Now, something's missing. If you're not hungry, you might just drive right by the McDonald's. So we need one more component: the desire or the motivation. Some people call these motivating operations. So we can now add a little more complexity to the loop. So here's my habit model. It's H equals TMRR. That is habit equals trigger plus motivation, that's your desire, plus a routine, the repeated behavior, followed by a positive consequence, the reward. The trigger includes not just the immediate prompt, but also the environment, the context surrounding you. It includes, but is not limited to, where you are, who you're with, the time of day, your mood, social pressure, and your stressors. Motivation, the second component at this stage of the habit development process, is the initial motivation to do the new habit. Motivation here comes into play in two ways. When developing a new habit, it's important that you want to do it. Then after the habit is established by repetition, the motivation plays a more important role. It's the desire, the anticipation. It's more important than the rewarding consequence. This is an important but often overlooked component that we'll talk more about when we get into how to eliminate bad habits. Save that for the future. The routine, the first R, is the behavior that is repeated over and over and over until it becomes automatic. And the reward, pretty obvious, when establishing a new habit, it's the positive consequence. Two things that are important, though. It has to happen immediately and intentionally for habits to form. there has to be a strong emotional component. The new habit, whether it's a good one or a bad one, actually changes the structure of your brain. I have a previous video on this, so take a look at my video called Habits in the Brain. So, what exactly is a habit? A habit is a neural pathway that is automatic, that happens without you thinking about it. Both good and bad habits change your brain. My goal is to help you develop healthier habits while eliminating the unhealthy ones. I want to first start with how to develop good, healthy habits. Whoa, wait, you think, but I have really bad habits I want to get rid of. Well, I will get into that in a later video. But by starting on the process of developing healthy habits, you will develop the skills of habit formation. And there's a good chance that some of your bad, unhealthy habits will fall by the wayside as you develop positive, healthy ones. But don't worry, later videos will cover how to bust bad habits. In the next series of videos, I'm going to cover all about how to develop healthy habits. But for now, that pretty much covers today's topic, the habit loop. I hope it helps you to understand a little bit more about habits and the beginning process of how they are formed. In the next video, I will share an overview of the 7-step habit formation process. I hope you found some of what I talked about interesting and informative. There's a lot more to come that I think you will love. If so, hit the like and subscribe button below, and turn on the little bell next to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future topics. I think you're really going to like them. Well, thanks for watching, and please leave any comments you might have or suggestions for topics you'd like to see covered. I'd really appreciate that. So, until we meet again, just keep on trucking.